Thanks, Ambassador Green. Good morning to everybody. It's a real personal pleasure for me to take time out of our schedule and come over and spend time with you. I want to just follow suit on what Ambassador Green said and acknowledge Congressman Payne's leadership and Congressman Bozeman's leadership too, and the staffs for what they've done to change the tide on this issue of malaria that has been with us for thousands of years. It's a pleasure to join you. I see a lot of you in the audience. Some of you scare me because you know a whole lot more about the science and the factors of the disease, but it's been a real personal privilege for me to work alongside of many of you together as a team to do something about this. But today I'm going to focus in on my comments a little bit on the what is it, why us, and now. But I'll do it around trying to just update you on what the United States government is doing, what we are doing with the PMI, President's Malaria Initiative, which is now easing into the Global Malaria Initiative, and then why us. The United States government's malaria program has in the last 2.5 years become a very high-vis, high-impact foreign assistance health program. When I'm traveling and speaking to different folks, particularly leaders in Asia, South America, but particularly in Africa, it's clear to me that they understand that the United States government is completely behind doing something about malaria, that there is an increased awareness, people are starting to get it, but more importantly, they appreciate the leadership that this country is doing through Congress in supporting the resources needed in order to turn the tide. What has been exceptional has been the strength and the impact of the advocacy community. And again, I'm grateful to be seated at the table today with 3 of the most effective advocates in working global health issues, infectious disease issues around the world. Why malaria? I resist the temptation to give you figures, but I think it's important for all of us to remind ourselves that there are some pretty dramatic figures that are happening. 3,000 kids a day, WHO tells us, are dying today of malaria. That's unconscionable. 40% of many of the African health systems are burdened by in and out patients because they're treating and diagnosing malaria. It's effectively destabilizing every aspect of their health programs. And then when you apply this notion that it's a disease of the poor, and you hear things like the statement from the housewife in Malawi who says she is spending 30% of her disposable income on anti-malarial drugs, and she's one of the $1 to $2 a day persons, then you can see how it is a disease of the poor, and it's keeping them from moving forward on any economic spectrum of improvement. It's a disease of contradiction, because everybody in this room knows what it is, what we need to do to stop it, how to cure it, and it's been with us for thousands of years. And too many people are still suffering from it, not able to go to school, not able to go to work, and are dying from it. We solved it in our countries and in Europe, many of the other second-tier countries, but many countries in Africa, it's still one of the top leading killers. We can't turn our back on it. It's not going away. That's why we have to focus in on malaria. I'm really grateful that the United States government has gotten it and that they have committed to doing something about this disease. And we've done 3 things that have turned the tide in the last 3 years. There's been demonstrated leadership by the administration, both the past one and this incoming administration, clearly by our Congress that's giving us strong bipartisan support, and thirdly, there's a plan that is orchestrated and put on the table by Congress, and it's our job to meet those expectations and carry out the plan. Let me tell you how we're doing malaria in the United States government right now. We have a goal and we have a target, and we're sticking to it. Our goal, the President's Malaria Initiative, set a very ambitious goal to reduce mortality by 50% in 15 of the most endemic countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Those aren't our goals. Those are really the goals of the MDG goals, and they support the Abuja targets as well as what the ministers of health have all agreed to. So we're coming in to support someone else's goals. There was a 4-year commitment, as Ambassador Green mentioned, $1.2 billion, and by comparison, in the early 2000s, Congress had moved us up from the $1 million of malaria spending in 1997 in Africa to about $88 million, which was a significant impact. But then in 2005, the administration and Congress bumped that up to $1.2 billion. Because of leadership, because of recognition, but because of the increase of resources, we were finally able to jump in and partner with our host countries along with our other resource partners. The program was embedded in USAID. It is a USAID-led initiative, but it's interagency in that HHS and CDC are complementary partners. So while I reside and I'm embedded in USAID Global Health, it is my responsibility to coordinate with state, with HHS, NIH, CDC, Department of Defense now, with AFRICOM going into Africa. And I've actually got off the phone with a Pacific Fleet. They're going into the Solomon Islands and looking at ways that they can do treatment and prevention of malaria. So the coordinator's position, while it's embedded in USAID, is now reaching out and touching every component of the U.S. government interagency health family.